You're watching exclusive coverage of the 2026 NADA show on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. We're out here at the NADA 2026 show in Las Vegas, and we are joined right now by David Mondragon, who is the CEO and founder of AutoTrust Dealer Alliance. That is a company you're going to start to hear a lot more about. They're also exhibiting out here at 6347 North. Check them out. If you are hearing this message, you owe it to yourself. We talked about that in the first interview when we were just a couple of weeks ago. This is a really cool concept that I think dealers need to learn more about. For dealers that maybe didn't see our first interview, tell us about AutoTrust.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It's great to be here again, Jim. So AutoTrust is a unique opportunity for dealers to be a part owner in a business with another group, another management company running that business for them. It's a dealer consortium, so the dealers own 100% of the equity holding stock in the business. They generate that stock over time by the earnings that they get. There's a very little entry fee. To join AutoTrust, it's $100, and that gets you an A share in this company, so it's a very low bar for dealers to get into. But most importantly, they get to leverage the economies of scale of hundreds of dealers that we're bringing on the platform. We have 3 different pillars. So the first pillar is finance insurance. We have a great partnership with Allstate. The second pillar is financial services. We're striking relationships with major banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. The third pillar is group purchasing. So where we get in with a group, we leverage the volume, we leverage the throughput, and we bring down their costs.
Right, and this is, like we talked a little bit about it in our first interview, this is vitally important, especially for the smaller dealers out there. Maybe you've got 5 locations and not 150 like some of the big publics out there. But you kind of help level that playing field in terms of acquisition of products and services to that dealer.
Right, you nailed it. So what we're trying to do is create a competitive leveling of the field for the smaller dealer and the smaller dealer groups. So a dealership with 5 stores or 8 stores or 10 stores or even the single point with 3 stores, they will have nowhere near the leverage to be able to negotiate lower prices, higher incentives versus these large dealer groups. If you're a dealer group with 50 stores or 40 stores, or if you're a public dealer group, they're able to bring down their expense structure anywhere from 10 to 25% compared to a dealer they're in the market with because of the fact that they have scale.
That's right.
That's what our model does.
And we both talked about the J.D. Power event yesterday where they came in and said, hey, our profits are going to be down a little bit, right? I think you mentioned 12%.
Yes.
This is a troubling factor for dealers.
Well, it's a great point, and that J.D. Power conference is one of the best in the industry. Their data is bar none some of the best in the industry, and it's real time. What they quoted yesterday was that the industry is going to hold volume on a year-over-year basis. So the SAR is around 16.3 this year. It'll be around 16.3 next year. What's going to happen, though, is the pressure on the expense structure is going to drive down dealer profitability by 12%. So if you're a dealer looking, I'm going to sell the same volume year over year, that's what the forecast is, and my expenses are going up, and I lose 12% of profit, that's a huge hit. If you're making $1 million a year, you know, that's a lot of dough. That's $120,000. So, and if you're making $2 million, that's $240. It multiplies out pretty easily. Companies like ours can help those dealers. The only way to offset that is through increasing your revenue and increasing your margins or reducing your costs. And we do both. We increase revenue, bring new incentives to dealers, new opportunities for them to grow their profit without doing anything different in their organization, and we help reduce their cost structure and their expenses.
Sure. You know, I sit in a very unique position here at CBT News where I talk to literally hundreds of experts in the industry and people that watch the industry, analysts and such, and whenever I ask them about the future of a small dealer group, compared to all of these conglomerates that we see out there,
right?
All of the publics that are, you know, that are now 150, 200, 300, 500 stores and such, they'll say, well, the biggest problem that the mom and pop, so to speak, they might have 1, 2, 3 stores in the G, we still call them mom and pops,
right?
Is to be able to debate on the expense structure, like we just talked about.
It's
they're almost, if they don't have a program like yours, they're almost forced to make that sale to a bigger entity, right?
It's what's happening every day, and the bigger dealer groups, these public dealer groups, are gobbling up the smaller dealers. And we're trying to create a sustainable footprint for them.
Sure.
When you go into a single point market, those dealers are the backbone of the community. They're sponsoring the soccer teams, the baseball teams, the local football teams. Even when you get into the larger markets, people own their trade area. They're doing the same thing. When those individuals go away, there's nobody to do that. And sustainability and being able to manage the ebbs and flows of the economy is very important for dealers today.
Last time we talked, you said that your vision for this is that you will get upwards of first 1,000, 5,000, and then 10,000 dealers, right?
Well, we don't know where the top is, but we'll definitely get to 1,000. So in the last 30 days, we talked maybe 10 days ago, and in the last 30 days, we have 5 dealer groups representing 70 rooftops, 70 different dealerships that have raised their hand and said, we're in.
That's great.
So 70 stores in 30 days. So when we take that and we start to stratify that, we're going to get to pretty good numbers. The dealers are telling us when we show them the opportunity, it's a no-brainer.
So when you think about that, for dealers that are watching, if 1,000 stores are right around the corner, and when you've got that kind of purchasing power,
right,
you truly are now actually offering more power than if you were to put all of the publics together.
100%, 100%. And we spoke last time about some of our investors.
Yeah.
So some of the people that invested are the past CFO of Costco, past CEO of Home Depot, the past CEO of Borders Books, and one of the largest investment bankers in the West Coast, Steve Lebo. So we have an incredible advisory group and backers, but they decided to participate in this because A, they love auto, B, they saw the need in the gap, and C, it matches their model where they get economies and scale efficiencies, they pass those savings on to their customers, and they create better value. That's exactly what we're doing as a company.
So talking about how AutoTrust technology and training programs kind of integrate with a dealer's existing DMS and operations, agree with disruption?
Right, it's a great question. We don't disrupt anything. We don't come in guns a-blazing. We don't try to change anything in the operation to start. They're doing F&I right now. If they come in and we transition them to the Allstate platform, there's really not a lot for them to do. We're going to teach them we're going to bring marketing materials. We're going to change the programming on their system to be able to sell the Allstate. The products that are sold at retail and F&I are fairly ubiquitous. There's not a lot of difference between the brands, but we're going to offer lower prices and pass on those savings to the dealers, and that's the big thing. But again, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. If they're making $2,000 a copy in F&I today, they're going to make that plus the incremental revenue they'll get from us from lower costs. When we get into the lender programs, same deal. If they're going through our lenders, they're going to just basically program to go to the banks that we prefer. It's their choice. We don't force anyone to send anything that they don't want to send, but if they do, they'll get incremental incentives, and group purchasing will work in the same fashion. So
then when you get into 6 stops, in terms of all of the equipment and all of the materials that we buy as dealers, stops departments, that really gets fun.
Well, it gets into everything. I mean, we can buy. When you have 1,000 dealers on your platform, and you look at how many dealers need to buy a car wash, they need to buy tires, they need to buy brakes, they need to buy computer systems, software that's provided. If you look at the average dealer, they have 20 or 30 different software providers. We're going to be able to go and cull that list down and negotiate on their behalf to lower their prices.
I'd imagine at some point, well, probably now, you're already getting vendors, companies lining up.
Yes.
Pick me.
Yes.
Right? Because you're going to have this enormous purchasing power.
Yes. Not only vendors, we're meeting with brokers. We just met with performance brokers. I've talked to Kerrigan. And if you're thinking about selling your dealership in a year or two, you would come on our platform because we can improve your margin and your profitability. If we can add $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to your bottom line, what will that yield if you're looking to sell a store in a year or two? Because you're going to get the multiple, right? And it's a win-win-win because the dealers win, the brokerage companies win, and then obviously our partners win. The marketplace wins.
$500,000 savings could yield you $3 million
easily.
Time to sell.
That's only a 6 times multiple.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We know how hot that market is right now. Looking ahead, how does AutoTrust prepare dealers for the industry disruptions that are coming?
It's a great question. So I'm going to go back to our foundation. So AutoTrust Dealer Alliance is dealer-owned. The chairman is a dealer. We have advisory committees with dealers. And we'll set up multiple advisory committees as we go forward. And their role is to think strategically about what's happening in the economy, what's happening in the industry, and where do we fend off any kind of issues that are going to come and face the dealers. We also, our company brings in our partners. We'll bring in the lenders, the big banks. We'll bring in some of the other third-party companies that we do business with, and they'll sit at the table with our dealers as well, and they'll bring in their strategists, they'll bring in their people, their economists. Yeah. We're going to talk to our dealers and have a business discussion about what are the issues that we face as we go forward, and then how do we tackle those as a group. Again, we work for the dealers, so I work for the dealers. We support their business. They get 100% of the equity, they get quarterly profit distributions, and it's all incremental to what they make today.
Like the dealer having their own procurement department and saving, right?
It is.
Without having to take on the expense of a procurement department.
Well,
we only win on this.
And so the dealers have asked us, let's get into garage liability. We're meeting with Marsh McClellan. Let's get into medical. Let's get into pharmaceuticals. Yeah. You're 100% right. Yeah. Basically, anything a dealer consumes, we can consume at scale at a lower price. And that's where our partners come in. When we leverage our relationship with, past leaders at Home Depot, past leaders at Costco, and we bring in people from purchasing in those groups, they get it, and they're going to pass on those savings to the dealers, and the dealers are really going to reap the benefits. And the early adopters for our business are going to be generating shares and ownership in this business that will have significant value down the road.
So good. That's fantastic. It really is. For dealers that are out there listening to us, whether you have 5 dealerships in your group, you have 20 dealerships in your group, maybe you've got 100. Try these guys on. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer in the industry. It would seem to me it's $100 to get involved.
$100.
Now's the time to get involved. It'll just be a ground floor. You've got a dealer that's the chairman of the company. They know what it's going to take to get the necessary purchasing power that goes to work for your dealership. So David Mondragon, CEO and founder of AutoTrust Dealer Alliance. It's a company, or an organization, I should say, you're going to start to hear a lot more about. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks for watching our exclusive coverage of the 2026 NADA show on CBT News.